The following is a presentation of the Best Station. The views and comments made in the following program do not necessarily represent the views and comments of the Best Station.
Hello everyone and welcome to Comicasters issue 7. I am your co-host MC Brown.
I'm Colt Hudson.
And I'm Derek Ross.
And we are here live for recording at the Phoenix Comic Con 2016 at the Phoenix Convention Center, downtown Phoenix, Arizona, for a live edition of the Comicasters. So, how you guys doing tonight? Enjoying the con so far?
It's been a terrific con so far. How about you, Derek?
Oh, it's great. I've been masquerading as Aquaman. In my own trident and painted gold and everything. It's pretty fun. Everybody likes to take pictures and have a good time. That's great.
It's good. As always, we can be reached at Comicasters on Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/Comicasters, and we also are found on thebeststation.net under the guise of our great producer, and thank him personally, Craig Best, who also on facebook.com/thebeststation. Craig, for all his great work, throwing all the images up for our YouTube listeners who are watching the show too, as well as listening to us. So we want to thank Craig. We also want to thank great fans. What we're doing is we're recording this post panel. What we did, we have an excerpt from our Suicide Squad panel that the whole Comicasters crew was present for, and we had a lot of fun with also special guest of the con, Heath Corson. So Heath, you're going to hear Heath's voice on after our station break when we go to that portion of our show here. Heath hopefully will join us for another podcast, hopefully coming up in the next couple issues here. So we want to thank him for lending his voice to the show as well. But we're going to do a couple of our regular segments, and so of course on here we didn't have always the opportunity to. But two lucky fans were selected to give us some questions, so we're going to go to them right now for a live social media gathering here. So we're going to go to our first fan, Amy, who has a question for us.
I was wondering if during the casting of Suicide Squad, if any of you were possibly disappointed with who was casted for different characters.
You want to go ahead, Derek?
I feel like Colt is bursting at the seams with his disappointment, but maybe not. As you probably may hear in the panel that will be added later, a lot of us were a little bit disappointed with the casting of Amanda Waller. And the reason being that she doesn't fit that body type. And it's not that, body type is so essential for any particular character in a superhero or a supervillain movie, but for her, nicknamed The Wall, it's something that you really want to have, that large, imposing character. And at the same time, as we discussed in the panel, she also has a sort of vulnerability. It's easy to underestimate her, and that's part of her guile. And I think that's something that a lot of people will overlook. So I was a little bit disappointed in the fact that they cast her as somebody who's, as some people have said, the supermodel Wall.
Well, so. She's not like I don't want to say Angela Bassett, because I think she was in the Green Lantern one, which would also apply. But the Suicide Squad on Arrow had a very thin, sleek Waller. I don't think Viola Davis, fits at least an older Waller, which is good, but, still not like obese Waller, but, that Viola Davis might be one of, a little lesser to my chagrin was Will Smith as Deadshot. I think it's just maybe a little too known of a character. I would rather have seen like Scott Eastwood play Deadshot, and I know he's rumored for Deathstroke, but I just always thought Deadshot to me be one of my favorite characters that he was the Clint Eastwood of the Suicide Squad. So I thought, well, how fitting that Scott Eastwood would play him, and I feel like they dropped the ball, but that would be number one on there, and it's just, that's for me. I don't know about you, Colt.
Yeah, I think we all agreed during the panel that Amanda Waller, we would appreciate the larger casting, so to speak, as they'll get to hear about here shortly once we get to the panel.
Yeah. We had a portion of the panel, so I'm not sure if that's covered on there. We were able to get partway through on it. So whatever we were talking about when we cut into the panel, you guys are all going to hear after a station break. But we had one more lucky fan that was asked to join us here. John, do you have a question for us?
Yeah, my name is John, and I was just wondering, like, what is a Suicide Squad, you know? Because I love Batman. So I was like,
okay. So you came in there seeing Batman, so you came in and say, so it's some Batman fans coming here. So yeah, it's perfect because it's supposed to be a preview show anyway. So we decided to use part of the panel for the show, which how great would it be, you know, to use that. So yeah, the squad, also known as Task Force X, John, is a government organization that is basically used. The worst of the worst criminals, as they're going to use in the movie, but in the comics as well. These are suicide missions that Amanda Waller and the government sends these hardened supervillains on because they're going to rot away in prison, so why not use them? They put explosive nanites in them, or, you know, in the old comics, explosive bracelet that would blow off their arm if they didn't comply. And basically they have to perform these missions, survive, obviously, that's hence the name Suicide Squad, and if they survive, their sentence will be reduced to time served, but the key is surviving the suicide mission. So these villains of the Suicide Squad have taken, there are just so many different incarnations from over the years. So, I mean, it's just like, you know, the movie is just going to be the next, I think, evolution of the characters.
Yeah, so it's important to remember that these are villains. It's not a show about superheroes. So, you know, you said you liked Batman, and I doubt that he'll play a prominent role here, but these are just bad guys who have run awry of the law, and they've been caught. They're going to go out and do some bad things, like you'll see with the trailer. You know, Harley Quinn breaks a window, takes a handbag, and she's like, "What? We're bad guys." You know, and that's something to keep in mind. Is that that's exactly who they are. That's who they'll probably always be. Although, you know, some of us hope for a character or two to have some redemption, but
it's going to be interesting. Colt, do you have anything to add on just what the squad's, you know, I guess definition of squad to you actually means?
Yeah, I mean, essentially we have guys who are in prison, and Amanda Waller comes up and says, "Hey, you want time taking off your sentence? Here's some suicide missions. Good luck, don't die. And if you come back and you complete the mission, time's taken off and you're free."
That's pretty simple as that, John. So the good part of this show is we're going to give you a chunk of the panel that we were talking about. This is our kind of what we promised last issue of Suicide Squad preview. So again, we want to thank Heath Corson sitting in the con as well for allowing us to be on part of this panel. At Heath Corson, HeathCorson is where Heath can be reached, heath.corson@gmail.com. And he was the writer of actually Batman Assault on Arkham, so he's a pretty credible guest panelist with us on our panel, so it was a lot of fun. And we're going to go first to our Riddle Me This, our regular great Riddle Me This segment. We're going to come back, it'll be the three of us along with Heath Corson, cut in the middle of the panel because we had some audio difficulties getting it on there. So once that comes through, we'll actually come back with Heath Corson us, but first we're going to go to our great Riddle Me This.
All right, so Riddle Me This, for those of you who are not familiar with it, we give you guys 3 clues to any character that we're going to talk about, and see if you can guess who it is. So the first clue here, this character was created by Carl Kessel in the Tales of Superboy. His second clue here is his real name is Nanu. And the third clue is that he was reincarnated by Argus Head in the Flash TV series.
So we're going to go to our panel in the meat of the show. When we come back for after that station break, so it'll be 2 station breaks before we get this reveal, but when we come back we'll reveal who that is on our Riddle Me This, and we'll be going to the panel right now when we come back.
You are listening to thebeststation.net. home of the best station, the best music for the best audience. Now featuring the best podcasts for the best audience. With such podcasts as The Fast Pitch, starring MC Brown and Dr. Eric Lenneberg, covering any and all related MLB news and current events. And now featuring The Comicasters, starring MC Brown, Colt Hudson, and Derek Ross. On location for comic book conventions, reviewing comic book trades and collections, and anything and all related comic book movies, news, and events. This is a presentation of thebeststation.net. The best station, the best music for the best audience.
Ultra Bright gets you noticed. Ask Tony, roller disco manager. He had Hot Wheels for Sally, but to Sally, Tony was Stumble City. Then Tony discovered Ultra Bright. Ultra Bright White, dynamite fresh. That night, Sally and Tony paired off in a quiet corner. They've been head over wheels ever since. Get on Ultra Bright for a smile so white it gets you noticed.
And now, enter Ultra Bright's Fun and Fitness Sweepstakes. Details in September 12th newspapers.
Listen up. This is Darren. He's the newest member of the league.
Whoa, hold up. What can he do?
Can he fly?
No, he cannot fly.
He got superhuman strength though, right?
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You got to be able to do something. Levitate, go through walls, turn into vapors or something.
I can do one thing.
Well, let's see it, man.
You can run with me. Sorry.
It's a movie, guys, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm with you on that.
I agree with what everyone else has said so far. Just to kind of expand on that, I'm hoping that they really stay true to the characters' personalities, and with that, be able to portray the different struggles that they have, and particularly the unique interactions that occur between these lunatics, because that's just great storytelling.
Yeah.
I think having all the unique interactions between the characters you don't know to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just to add on to that, I really want to see Captain Boomerang and Deadshot go at each other as much as possible, because it's just such a classic rivalry. I really want to see them, at least hurt each other a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, it's got to be big and loud and sexy and bloody and funny. Like, I'm expecting it to be funny and clever. Like, I really want this to be about a bunch of people who are pushed up against the wall and don't have any options, and so they're just gonna make gallows humor all the way down, So I'm really hoping that that's what we get.
Yeah. People with nothing to lose.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, how fitting Bohemian Rhapsody in the trailer.
Right. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Just a fun Aquaman-inspired activity right now. Let's say 3 people die in the movie, and for the next movie, because I think they already greenlit a sequel already. Next movie, if you get to draft 3 people, and it doesn't have to make any sense, just any 3 characters that you would want in the Suicide Squad. I mean, we have, like, Speedy was in the Suicide Squad for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like, so anybody who was on the Suicide Squad before, past, present, future, who would you put in the Squad?
Good question.
Number 1 for me, and I can't believe he's not in the movie, is Braun Steiger. I'm a huge fan of him. I wish Will Smith would have been playing him too. I know he probably didn't maybe have any martial arts training, but I missed Braun Steiger. I missed the relationship he had with Vixen in there too. I think she was another character. Those 2 right off the bat were just huge characters for me, and I think just underutilized African American characters that I just love. It's just like, John Ostrander fleshed them out so good, and I was just like, I wish they would have been in there, but hopefully they're in a sequel. That's 2 right off the bat for me, for sure.
Anybody else got this?
I think it'd be cool to have Catwoman on the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
She is a criminal, so she would fit. But it would be cool to have something like that and do a heist or something. I think it would be cool to have Deadpool, and I know he's from Marvel, but he does cross universes on a pretty regular basis. So, I mean, with his movie out, that would be awesome.
Deadpool Harley would be pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, putting them on the same team would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Full new level of insanity.
Yeah. Let's kick it up a notch. All right, but and I had another one, and he's probably my favorite DC character, and that's Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, like the costume is dope, and like it would just be awesome to see him on the team, and then of course with him and Deadshot and their rivalry, you know, that would be cool to see them forced to work together.
Yeah.
I think that would add a lot of.
There's a rumor that character that could be Deathstroke. Anyone know who that is?
Who the actor is?
Clint Eastwood's son, right?
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, Scott Eastwood. Yeah, come on up. You got one. Yeah, good job. Yes, Scott Eastwood could be him. That would be pretty awesome.
It's Deathstroke. I think that's a great call. I would love to see him on the squad. I would love to see Riddler on the squad, just because I would love a smart guy who makes everybody crazy. And I would love to see Eel O'Brien on the. Anybody know who Eel O'Brien is? Eel O'Brien is the real name of Plastic Man. Before Plastic Man was a hero, he was a gangster named Eel O'Brien.
That's right.
I would love to see Eel O'Brien on the team, and then the reveal be that he's Plastic Man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That would be really fun.
Colt, you got a choice?
Yeah, I was going to go with Deathstroke, but Derek took my
Yeah, because when he asked for 3, 1 was good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true.
Anyone else in it, top of your head from the 80s comic, maybe or the New 52?
You know, Deathstroke is probably the number one I think that would come to mind.
Black Manta's another one. I know he appeared in the New 52.
Let's all calm down about Black Manta.
Yeah.
Did they have Clayface on at one point?
Clayface, I know he's on the new Batman family title, the kind of Detective Comics.
Clayface would be a cool choice for Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he could be anybody.
Espionage, Ocean's 11 version of that sort of thing.
I think this character had a kind of his own, he had to battle with depression. Count Vertigo is one of my favorite characters from the comics, and he would be, I think, a great choice. He actually, at the end of that series, the question is posed is, he asked Deadshot, would you kill me if I asked you? And Floyd Lawton, Deadshot, says, I'll kill you, but you better make sure, damn sure that's what you want, because that's what's going to happen. So that could create an interesting dynamic too, I think, if you had those characters in.
Yeah, Harley, do you have any picks?
Yeah, do it.
The main one that was disappointing was actually King Shark not being in it currently, just because of the interaction between just that huge brute force that he is. I think would bring a lot. So.
Cool. All right. Well, at this point, why don't we open it up to any questions from the crowd? Anybody have questions for the panel about the Suicide Squad in the back there?
That's more of a question, but what about Poison Ivy? You talk about the dynamic with Harley, but nobody said Poison Ivy.
Yeah, that would be great.
Good point.
Ivy would be fun.
Yeah, she was.
Some romance.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah, she was in the squad at one point in time too. Yeah, she's a former member.
Over there in the high.
What did you think about the WB Arrow Suicide Squad? That's something they did there.
I think it's a disappointment they had to kill him off, because I think we possibly could have gotten a TV version of the Suicide Squad, and they were building it, and it just the embargo, I think, with the movies just made they don't want any confusion of characters, and unfortunately that took them off the table. It's disappointing, because they had great cast, they had just great characters.
The Bronze Tiger.
Yeah, and they had the Bronze. That was his name's escaping me. No.
Michael Jai White.
Yeah, Michael Jai White. Thank you. Yeah, he did an awesome job as Bronze Tiger.
Great.
I loved him. Yeah.
I didn't like their Deathstroke. I didn't like their
Deadshot.
What? Deadshot.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like their.
Yeah, didn't have the full
Sean
mask.
Mayer?
Yeah.
Well, I thought all the tattoos of who he's killed, that's one way to give yourself away.
I think we have a Thor on the front.
Oh.
Thor.
What about Bane for Suicide Squad?
Ooh, that'd be fun.
He's in Secret Six. Yeah, written by Gail Simone and stuff. Yeah, that would be a good choice. Yeah, I think he was in a Convergent Suicide Squad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for one story. Yeah, they kind of drafted him and Deadshot in there in the final. I think Suicide Squad Swan Song. I think.
Can you do a Bane?
Way back there.
Do you do Bane?
I don't do Bane.
No, wait, I think I have.
I used to love to be on the Suicide Squad. Nobody asked me because nobody can understand what I'm saying. Maybe me and Captain Boomerang, and I have to keep saying, what did he say again? because he wants to go to the bathroom, or is he hungry?
That's just like the movie.
That was a trivia question, by the way, so whoever can answer that, you know.
And right after that, Captain Boomerang would kill that.
Yeah. It's right, this is up with me, and I'm
All right, let's go way in the back.
What? Spoiler!
So I think with the question, how big of a prominence do we think Batman's going to play in the movie? Was that it? Okay.
You want to answer that one, Cole?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've seen the trailer just like all of you. So I mean, what's the scene? He's on top of the Lamborghini, the purple Lamborghini. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, he's diving in the water. Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, I don't know what role he's actually playing in the film, other than Batman, of course. But I think it could be much more than that.
It's going to keep it interesting, I think, because that's going to show, I think, some origin of Joker, Harley Quinn. So I think you got to have Batman in there, and that's, I think, his role. I believe.
Maybe we'll get the Amanda Waller Batman scheme that you guys all love.
Never know. Never know.
Let's go into Luigi.
With all these new superhero movies with Marvel and DC coming out in these next couple of years, and a lot of female superheroes and female supervillains become extremely popular, especially with Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn herself, but she already wants a solo movie. Do you guys feel like this is also opening the way for female directors, because there's never actually been a female action movie director in history aside from the Supergirl show? There was like one episode where a female directed it. You guys think this is opening paths for like a new era of directors as well?
I think this and Captain Marvel. I think that they're looking for a female. Yeah, clap that up. Come on. I think they're looking for a female director for Captain Marvel, and I think that it's a great idea. I think that absolutely we need those voices.
I think Margot's actually championing possibly, and this we teased on our podcast too, maybe a Birds of Prey movie with Harley Quinn involved too. So that's a lot of different avenues could be opened up. Yeah, be great.
That'd be rad.
That would be awesome.
So we have Batman in the front.
Will Lex make an appearance in Suicide Squad?
So the question is, will Lex Luthor make an appearance in Suicide Squad? We're talking about the movie.
I'm thinking probably not, since he's more of a Superman villain. It's possible, if they were to make some connection, I suppose that could happen. But I think probably not.
At best, maybe a cameo. I know there was rumors of it too before that Jesse Eisenberg might appear in it.
Lex is in the cell right next to me, and he says he's not actually going to be in the movie.
No, I will tell you this. I read there was the first guy who wrote the Suicide Squad movie was a guy named Justin Marks, who was an excellent screenwriter, and Lex Luthor was in that version, and that was really cool. I agree with you guys, though. I don't think we're going to get Luthor in, maybe in like a cameo as we pan past like a bunch of guys in cells.
Yeah.
If he's next to Bane, you guys know who is probably responsible.
That's right.
We have Harley Quinn over there.
The Joker Harley what?
Their relationship, Joker and Harley Quinn. Because in the movie, I can tell that they're going to be together, but I don't know if they're going to stick to it or not. That's what's getting me really.
I think that's keeping all of us on pins and needles. I think what's fun is we don't know what the status of that relationship is right now. At that point, that was the New 52 version of the comic had. Look, I think we want to see Harley standing on her own 2 feet and getting out of this abusive relationship, and I think that's definitely going to be some motivation for her going after the Joker. We do that in Batman Assault on Arkham and to great effect. So I'm pulling for that as well. Although we know that there is a pull. There's a real pull that they are simpatico there. They're birds of a feather. So I think that that's a really neat thing for that character to be struggling with.
DC had changed their so Harley in the previous continuity, Harley had made the choices she made to choose Joker. And the other way, I believe in the New 52, and this movie looks like it's going to follow that, is that she's more of a victim of the Joker. And does she snap out of it at some point? That's a question, as Heath said, to stand on her own 2 feet. And I know that's pretty much her edict. So she's less of a, I think less of a victim, more of a sympathetic character, because Joker is doing all these things to her. So I think what you see in the trailer is Joker torturing her and making her who she is, not kind of by her choice like it was in the cartoon and in her first appearances in comics, which to me is a little disappointing, but but I can see why DC was doing it.
I think there's been some interviews too where they've gone over basically the way they're treating it is it's like someone who is addicted to a substance. And they keep going back to it. They don't want to, but they keep going back to it and try to fight against it. Gentleman in the wave over here.
Alfred.
Oh, Alfred.
Mr. Pennyworth?
Mr. Pennyworth.
Yeah.
So, we all know Suicide Squad came before the Thunderbolts, at least I believe that is how it goes.
Yes.
But, can you compare and contrast some of your favorite things between Thunderbolts and Suicide Squad, since they're mirroring each other?
So, for those people who don't know what the Thunderbolts is, Marvel Comics, for a time, had no heroes on the face of the earth aside from the X-Men. And during this time, there was some villains, super villains, decided to pose as heroes and gain infamy that way. What are your thoughts on comparing and contrasting Thunderbolts?
Are you talking like the Warren Ellis version of the Thunderbolts that he wrote when Penance was on the team and stuff, when he first was mostly villains? I know the Thunderbolts originally.
My particular favorite was Punisher, Red Hawk, kind of the Marvel Now version.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a heavy duty lineup.
Yeah, that was my particular favorite, but you know when Marvel's jockeying DC.
Yeah.
So as I was trying to get
Was it Busiek who did it?
Is it a good mimic or a bad mimic?
Is it Busiek who did it with Citizen V, where it was
Zemo? Mark Badgley too. Yeah, I remember that. I love that version. Yeah, because
version.
Yeah, that's just. I think they all the villains in the Marvel ones assumed different identities to hide their villainy. It was a little bit different, but DC did this one first. Suicide Squad. Actually, if you take Suicide Squad's concept, the name and history origin was they were government operatives sent on a Suicide Squad mission. I think Ostrander updated it to be villains. If you survive the mission, your sentence is reduced to time served. It kind of made sense because why is the Joker appearing if Batman keeps catching him over and over and over again? It's a kind of way to explain, I know Joker's not on the squad, but all these villains coming back and how they keep getting out, it's because the government, is releasing them after the Suicide Squad mission. So it kind of made sense, the reason why they did it.
Norman Osborn put together a Thunderbolts team, didn't he, for a while, that was a pretty good storyline too. Here's my take on it. I think a bunch of villains who dress up and pretend to be heroes, that there is a notion in the back of their head that they want to be heroes, that they want to go the other way. We've seen it with Beetle, who wanted to go the other way and became like Mach 7 or something like that in Superior Foes. Where I think with Suicide Squad, these guys are gleefully who they are. Everyone is very much aware of who they are. They know what they're getting, and they're not trying to do anything but cause chaos and work in their own best interests. So that's my compare and contrast.
So we've got a few minutes left, and we've got a few more T-shirts to give away. So why don't we open to some trivia?
Damn.
Let's do it. You got something?
Did you have a question?
Good.
How do you guys feel about the kind of like what is it that news report was coming out, where they're getting more and more money for reshoots? Do you think that's going to affect? Because when the first trailer came out, it was kind of dark. Now it's like, oh, here's Buffy and Pink Fight.
What does it say to you?
I feel like they're just making it more fun.
You didn't like that?
No.
That's a rumor, though. I know Jai Courtney shot that down, but I mean, there could be some truth to maybe a couple scenes they maybe wanted to, if they noticed fans were responding positively to the humor in the trailer, maybe they figured it's not as funny to build up to it, but try to stick to trust what the actors are saying before I jump the gun.
Reshoots, especially big action stuff. When you're in the editing room and you realize, like, this character doesn't work. Like, we need to address this aspect of a character. So, to blame it, and also, we all know that comedy is a great thing as an afterthought. That really is the thing that always nails it, where you're like, you know what we need to do? We need to do coverage of these guys saying jokes now. That's a little dodgy. So I'm hoping that we're just doing some action reshoots or scene reshoots and maybe doing some more arc stuff. But who knows?
What do you have, Bud?
If 3 members of the Suicide Squad were going to die, would you want to die, and who do you think is going to die?
Slipknot first.
I think Slipknot's biting it. I think El Diablo's probably on the show. I think he's one of the most powerful members, but I think you probably might be looking at a sacrifice from him. Part of the reason I think I didn't like the casting of Will Smith as Deadshot is because it makes it even more blatantly obvious that Deadshot is probably not going to die if it's Will Smith. But Deadshot's one of my favorites, but I wouldn't want to see him die. But I think just the unpredictable nature is like could be anybody.
Mm-hmm. And that's, like I was saying earlier, that's what I hope, is that we can't count on any of them making it through.
Yeah. So I would say I would add Killer Croc to that list. It would surprise me if Croc goes down.
He's practically wearing a red shirt over there.
Yeah. You know who else would be good on the squad that they've kind of teased is Jason Todd as Red Hood in the squad, because we've seen the outfit. Yeah.
Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil, and Jason Todd shall appear.
Anyone else disappointed?
Fascinating.
Oh my God, you've got to stop that.
No! Come on, man.
Put my away from you.
Oh my God.
I'm not asking
He eats my cottage cheese in the refrigerator every time. And it has my name on it.
You didn't put your name on it.
It says
To kind of honor Heath here, because we had a couple trivia questions here, who can answer from Assault on Arkham? Who had his head blown off in the beginning of Assault on Arkham? You got it?
Yeah!
Good job.
Well done.
Good job.
Anyone else disappointed that Killer Croc is like 4 feet tall in the Suicide Squad? Okay.
Every time I see Killer Croc, I keep thinking, please don't get up.
Thanks, Jason.
Who can name Harley Quinn's creators?
There's Tim and Pauline.
Nice! Good job. Very good. Very good. Do we have these coming up for them? You guys, no?
I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this was at the beginning of the session, and I told you all, so you should all know what my nickname is.
I'm going to spell it out.
You got it.
Nice!
There you go.
Sorry about that.
I think we have people come up to. If they don't come up after, we can give a couple more.
All right. Well, before we leave off, if you're interested in more Suicide Squad panels, I think we have one tomorrow that is related. It's a Harley Quinn panel. I believe you'll be there for that as well.
I will be there for that.
2 doors down at North 121A at 1:30. And everybody else, if we want to hear more from you, see more of you, how do we do that?
We can be found, both myself, Colt, Hudson, Derek Ross, at Comicasters, Twitter, Instagram. We also are found on a site called thebeststation.net, where if you click on the Comicasters link, our great producer, Craig Best, all of our podcasts are archived. We should have one dropping that we've recorded yesterday. We're going to have another one probably recording this evening too, so please check us out and support the show, and more great stuff from us there.
We'll also be here tomorrow, dressed as members of the Suicide Squad.
Nice!
So look around. You can probably imagine which character I'll be assuming.
So tomorrow, it's an awesome point Derek made. Tomorrow is #SSS, #Suicide Squad Saturday. You're looking at Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Harley Quinn. So Colt Hudson will be Harley Quinn tomorrow. So look for us. Take any pictures. We'll gladly take pictures with all you guys. Hopefully we'll be back at the Harley Quinn panel, and hopefully see you all there.
You guys, stop by my booth at AA 1517. I have copies of Assault on Arkham. I'll happily sign them for you. Come try and get that book. It's awesome. I also have Bizarro books, so come find me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah, it's an animated.
So thank you for mentioning that. I almost forgot that. Go on, man. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for showing up.
Sure, man.
Nice meeting you. Thanks.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's good. It's fine.
Yeah, thanks.
Love this. Oh, yeah. No problem.
Yeah, that's the name of your guys' podcast.
You are listening to thebeststation.net, home of the best station, the best music for the best audience. Now featuring the best podcasts for the best audience.
Hello, I'm Mr. Ed.
horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mr. Ed. Go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the answer that you
Here she is.
He's
A lark
always
by
on a
Studebaker.
steady course. Talk
A
to
compact
Mr.
with
Ed.
performability. You know about performability in the lark? Yep. About the new lark steering system, new brakes, new front wheel suspension, the Skybolt 6?
Sure do.
How come?
I took a demonstration drive.
Figures. You have to drive the lark to believe it. See your Studebaker dealer tomorrow and take a demonstration drive.
Tell him we sent you.
Have a good day.
And we are back here in the Comicasters issue 7, and had fun on that panel, guys. What'd you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it was a packed house, so that was really good.
Yeah, a lot of people actually had to turn people away. That was a lot of fun. And you heard an excerpt from it. It was about midway through. We apologize for that. Obviously, the con was nice enough to allow us to share that with you, and Heath as well. Heath hopefully will be back, as we said, for an actual full episode with him. Great writer and contributor, not only DC Comics, but the Assault on Arkham, which Heath was saying the movie version of Suicide Squad will actually is taking a lot of pieces of Heath's work from that, which Heath seemed flattered at what he was talking to us, so we'll talk to him more about that. But we got the Riddle Me This reveal, Colt.
All right, so
what do we have?
For the panel, we give you 3 clues as to who the character could be. And without further ado, the character for Riddle Me This week is King Shark.
King Shark. I don't know if we got a chance on the panel. We were speaking too much of him. We had a lot of fun with King Shark and Boomerang and Bane and all that, but he was a little bit of a subject of our panel that we shared with you. If hopefully we caught some of that. If not, hopefully you guessed it was King Shark. But on this last half of the show, we had just some things to plug. Obviously, after the show, we got a big hashtag SSS, hashtag Suicide Squad Saturday. If this show doesn't air in time, what we'll do is we'll definitely have some stuff to talk about in a future show. We got so I don't think it's going to spoil anything. We have the great Colt Hudson, who will debut as Harley Quinn. What do you have to? What's your plans there? What came? How did this come about?
Yeah, we're just hours away from me debuting as Harley Quinn, and the more I think of it, I don't know how I got put in this role.
It's just kind of morphed and happened.
Yeah.
But that's going to be fun. It's going to be unique. I don't think we've seen anybody like this here. And
is it going to be fun?
I think it's fun for me. I think it's going to be fun. We got Derek Ross as Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
Are you excited to be Captain Boomerang tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. Yeah.
We've got MC Brown coming in as Floyd Lawton himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Deadshot.
Comic Deadshot. So that should be fun. And we have our special guest who's going to be El Diablo. So he's going to be joining us. As great dude. And he's going to be El Diablo. So there's going to be 4 of us. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's fans, of course, here won't know in time by the time they hear this. But we're going to get shots, pictures, and just so many things. Hopefully we can participate in the Harley Quinn panel, talk to Heath Corson again, who will be a part of that panel. And just I think that's going to be, hopefully, and we were talking to Amy off there, hopefully there'll actually be a bigger room for the Harley Quinn panel. What do you think?
And we were walking around earlier at the con, and I saw the Arizona Avengers and the Justice League. I think how fitting for the Suicide Squad to show up and maybe put those 2 teams in their place.
Yeah, I think the Suicide Squad will probably take them. I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So big plug for that. we're going to get, in this special kind of Suicide Squad edition, we're going to throw this out here, put you guys on the spot. This is a future tease for future Comic Clash suggestions. If you had to pit one villain from the DC Universe against one villain from the Marvel Universe, who are you putting on opposite sides? And this will be our special vote to the Comic Clash in a future episode. So who do you got?
Derek, who do you got?
I'm thinking Wade Wilson versus Slade Wilson.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
Amazing. I mean, the characters are kind of built off of each other, and I mean, they're not copycats, obviously, but man, that would be a fight to remember. I can just imagine, like, Deathstroke standing there in his full armor, and you got Deadpool standing there with little to no armor and a smirk on his mask, and facing down, and eventually, obviously, if it was a head-to-head, I feel like you might have a good chance of Wade Wilson coming out on top. But I think Deathstroke just has such a grand plan for things that he might actually defeat him if it were a longer, more drawn-out section.
That's going to be fun. Yeah, we're going to get the fans to vote on this. I mean, that's obviously a very popular choice, Deathstroke versus Deadpool. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to get a lot of likes for that. But I'm excited to see what the fans choose here. What do you got, Colt? Who is your contribution and suggestion for the fans to vote on?
Two guys come to mind. Heavy hitter in the DC universe, Darkseid, right?
Yeah.
Pretty big player there.
Biggest villains, yeah.
One of the biggest villains, yeah, I would agree. Against probably Marvel's Thanos. Thanos,
Yeah.
I would have to go with Darkseid versus Thanos for my choice.
Not a bad choice at all, and I think I'm going to go in keeping with the Suicide Squad because there's so many choices I could do, and we don't have any female villains per se going at it. I would love to see that too, but I think I'm going to stick with. I'm going to do the Suicide Squad theme and go Deadshot versus Bullseye. So that's going to be my suggestion for that. So both of them men who do not miss. So that's going to be suggestions we'll put on our Instagram and Twitter, obviously, for fans to vote on and like. And pretty much after that, we'll see what we choose. And the next issue we're all together, we'll vote. We'll get the voting results, and we'll discuss how that would play out. And then finally, I had a new segment just to give you guys a plug here. Is a new segment I wanted to add is recommended reading. So out of stuff that you have read recently in comics, to just put you, and give this opportunity to out there to the fans. What's on your poll list? What are you reading right now, Derek?
I'm really loving the Injustice series. It's phenomenal. The art is really good. The story is, I cannot get enough of the story. The year 3 was a little bit tough, but we're in year 5 now, I believe, and it's really good. Actually, here at Phoenix Comic Con, we have one of the, in my opinion, the best artists. That's Mark S. Miller. He's here signing stuff. He's doing commissions and all that kind of stuff. We got to hang out with him a little bit today and say hi, talk to him, and get some pictures. Really phenomenal artist there. But the story is just so full of intrigue. They're pulling in as many characters as they can from the DC universe. It's awesome to see everybody kind of working together or working against each other. And I can't spoil much of it, but it's quite the story.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen some of his work. Just beautiful stuff. Colt, your poll list. What you read right now? What do you want to recommend to the fans, whether it be a trade or comic?
I'm still, since we're keeping it DC themed today, I've still got Suicide Squad on my poll list.
Nice.
And it's been a good series. I'm a little bit behind, but it's keeping me pumped and amped for the movie coming out here in a couple months. So Suicide Squad, I think, would be a good recommendation.
Very good, very good. And I just was excited to read this series in trades. DC's, for me, it's the DC's Amikami Girls. And I got volume 1, 2, and 3, so I'm excited to read them. I started to read the first trade, so I highly recommend that. That's my recommended reading of the week. Beautiful art. I know Jimmy Palmiotti and is a part of Amanda Connor, I think, did a couple of the issues and stuff too, and just a lot of good stuff there, and that's what I recommend to the fans too. If you get a hold of any of the trades, obviously we're at the con, a lot of good bargains to be had, especially on Sunday. So the fans here hopefully will recognize that and look at that. So we're going to wrap this issue up. Hopefully you fans enjoyed it, issue 7. So we enjoyed the panel. We enjoyed bringing you this issue here.